What's up, guys? My name is Kellen Morgan. I'm the lead tech and department manager here at G4 Archery. I actually started working here, it'll be 2 years this December, so I pretty much started at the beginning of 2023. Had a long background in archery, so I started shooting when I was 12, just turned 37, so 25 years shooting, and I've been involved in the actual pro shop side of things in the industry for almost 10 now. I previously worked down at the bow rack in Springfield there, which is where I had, a lot of my mentorship and knowledge in terms of how to work on bows and, different brands and gear and all that. And it's just always been something that's been a part of my life. It's probably the only thing, maybe other than snowboarding, that I can say I'm still obsessed with after 25 years of doing it. Kind of got into it in a roundabout way. I grew up duck hunting primarily with my dad. Killed a couple deer with a rifle, and honestly, the first thing that made me want to bow hunt was my dad would always pull me out of school for a week to go rifle hunting. I'd shoot a deer opening morning or Sunday morning, and then he'd make me go back to school. And I was like, well, this is kind of bunk. I want to be out here longer. So I started looking into bow hunting, and back then it was like TNN Outdoors was a big show, or a big channel, outdoor channel, and I just never really saw kids doing it and didn't even really realize that there was equipment available for kids my age. And then I remember it was the first day of 7th grade, and in our homeroom they did what they call a brown bag speech, which is essentially it's show and tell for like big kids, where you would bring in a brown grocery bag full of things that represented you and things you like to do. And this kid, Kyle Jameson, which he probably has no idea the fire he lit underneath me, he brought in a broken piece of an arrow and talked about how he and his dad would bow hunt together. And the light bulb kind of went off. I immediately went home and started researching bows. My parents were getting mad at me because it was dial-up internet back then, and I don't think they got a phone call for like 6 hours that night. But I ended up figuring out the bow I wanted. I went to the bow rack. They got me fitted up, and I ended up getting one for Christmas that year. So that was 2000. Christmas of 2000, it was a Hoyt MT Sport. It was one of those things that I just immediately got obsessed with. It was like, also because I wanted to kill stuff, but I just liked shooting the bow. I think pretty much every day from the time I was about 12 till I could drive myself, my mom would pick me up from school, take me to the range, go to her grocery shopping, and I would just shoot. During that time, Wayne Endicott, he has a son, Nathan, my age, and Nathan was just getting into bow hunting as well. And it worked out great. Like it's a really hard sport if you don't have mentorship, and Wayne was an incredible mentor in that respect, both with shooting and the hunting side of things. And so I started bow hunting. I killed my first deer, I think. Nathan and I actually both killed a deer that day. I think I was 13 or 14, and it's just been something I've been obsessed with ever since. So as much as I liked to shoot for hunting season is only, maybe 40 days out of the year. So in between that, I learned that there was competitive target archery, and it was basically something to just fill my time, and ended up taking me a lot of really cool places. I was fortunate enough to have a lot of success at the state and national level. Actually ended up going to college for it for a short time, and met a lot of really great people, saw a lot of cool things, went a lot of cool places. And then, after college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had a couple desk jobs and realized pretty quick that was not going to work out for me. And one day I got a call from Wayne, and he just said, hey, if you want to work here, you spend all your time here anyway, may as well get paid for it. So I quit the job I was at, started working for him right at the end of 2014, I believe. And yeah, been doing it ever since. I think there's a lot of things that I love about archery. I think the biggest thing is that it's a competition with yourself. I was always competitive by nature growing up, but kind of had 2 left feet when it came to coordination in organized team sports at my younger years. So for me, it was a great outlet to where I could still go and compete, and not have to have teammates be angry at me for missing the last second shot or tripping 5 yards from the end zone or whatever. And like I said, it was just something that I've always been drawn to. Wayne had a great saying. He said, it's in your DNA because archery is as old as mankind. I mean, you think about modern man, before gunpowder and even after that, I mean, the bow and arrow, it was your weapon. It's how you ate. like we've been shooting bows since, you know, the dawn of modern man. So, and that always resonated with me. I thought it really was a kind of a profound thing. And there's just something about it requires your full attention. You know, you can't be thinking about other things and do archery well. So whether you want to call that, you know, Zen or therapeutic or whatever you want to call it, it truly is just like a mind clearing, relaxing sport for me. You know, I like to say I compete, but I haven't competed seriously in a long time. I've done a lot of coaching, and it was really fun to see those kids succeed at a high level. But now I still shoot all the time, but it's mostly geared towards hunting. I still have a target set up that I like to dink around with, but you know, bow hunting to me is just, it's the time of year, the seasons that you get, the people you get to share it with. It's just, you know, everybody looks forward to bow season, right? So it's something that I don't ever see, you know, until I physically can't draw a bow or can't hike up a hill. I think it's going to be something that's going to happen every fall, come hell or high water. So that's kind of my background. You know, there's a lot of different equipment on the market these days. I tried my best to keep up with what's new, different tuning methods. I'm not going to say there's a right and a wrong way to tune a bow, but there's a right and a wrong way to tune a bow in general. So, you know, when I got here, part of my job was to get my guys trained up, and we've got a couple great other full-time techs here. Owen's come a long way since he started. They're passionate about the sport. They're good with people, and that's a lot of our job here is work. As much as we work with equipment, we have to work with people as well. And what I mean by that is not only building relationships, but shooting form and technique. You know, a lot of this equipment is only going to be as good as the person behind it, right? So there's a saying, it's not the Indian, or it's not the bow, it's the Indian. I don't know if that's politically correct, but it's a saying. So we work with the customer on their form, getting them fitted correctly, because if you're not comfortable, you can't be accurate. So as much as the equipment side of things is part of our daily job, working with the customers to ensure that they're going to get the most out of their equipment is equally as important, and probably takes equally as much time out of our day. So, you know, if you're looking to get into it, first-time shooter, long-time experienced shooter, and maybe want to try something different, you know, I'd highly encourage you to come in, check out the shop, meet the guys, and you know, hopefully we can help you out in any way that we can. Smooth.